World. Hope everybody's doing well. I have a little bit of my chipmunkness going, or chipmunkness stuff going on over here. Hello, welcome. So this is day 18 of my 100-day meditation experience. I got some teeth extracted yesterday, so I'm still doing that whole healing process thing. So what have I experienced today? I've done about an hour and a half of the meditation so far. And a lot of drowsiness, a lot of just kind of, meditating, but head kind of nodding offness. And there's a piece of me that says, okay, well, maybe that's, because of the pain meds that make me drowsy. Maybe I know that I've been doing like 3 hours of sleep a night for a little while, and last night I just crashed and I slept as late as I wanted to this morning. And I got like 10 plus hours of sleep. And plus just the whole body healing process and everything else that's been going on. And in all of that, I guess I'm noticing what's more important is this idea of expectations and noticing how the mind is attempting to, yes, I do. How you doing, man? Welcome back. Everything going well in your world? I'll keep talking as you're typing in. Good. Yes, I am doing really well. I got some teeth extracted yesterday, so I'm still doing the healing thing, kind of half chipmunk face here. But so doing the meditation thing, day 18 today, and just talking about my experience. And life's got its ups and downs, but honestly, man, I'm growing every day and experiencing something new and enjoying it. Anything particular coming up in your world? No, I didn't get knocked out. I have a side career as a boxer, but otherwise, no, it's nothing. But temporary fixture. So if you've got any stuff on meditation, spirituality, or just, I am originally from East Texas. I'm right now in the Woodlands, which is a small, not small, but I guess a suburb of Houston, a little bit north of Houston, Texas. Where are you right now? Right on, so fairly close. Very cool. Um, so how is everything in the spirituality, meditation, type vein? Anything you got going on in that world? And I tell you what, okay, awesome. Glad to hear it, David. Glad to hear it, man. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to jump into a couple little things that I am experiencing or kind of insights that are coming to me. But please, brother, feel free to type in. I'm curious to know like what your exact experience is, if you have any questions or anything, or what specifically is coming up that you enjoy about it. So I'll kind of do a tandem of like talking to you and then saying the other stuff that's coming up for me as well as you're typing in. So what I'm noticing, I guess the biggest thing is this idea of expectations. There's a piece of me that expects my meditation to be a certain way, and so today when I was doing it and had a little bit of like drowsiness and whatever, there was some part of me that said, "Oh, that's a bad experience." The other day I was having one where I was deep and zen and insightful, and my mind was clearing and my energy was growing, and so that was good. And now today, when my mind doesn't seem to be in the same place and there's this drowsiness and whatever, that's bad. And it's this idea that we have these expectations, things need to go a certain way, and as a result of that, we create our own suffering. Or a small example, for this teeth extraction thing, my mom, the doctor's office required that somebody came down to drive me there, drive me back, because I would be under sedation during the operation, and then stay with me for a few hours. And so she came down and took me there and took me back. And she stayed the night last night. She didn't have to drive home late. And got up this morning and she said, "Okay, how's your mouth? How's everything doing?" And I said, "It's fine." I said, "There's still a little bit of bleeding." And then she kind of started to go a little wonky. And I was like, well, what's wrong? She said, well, I told myself that everything would be okay if I got up and you didn't have any pain and you didn't have any more bleeding and I could feel comfortable leaving. And now you don't have pain, but you still have some bleeding in your mouth, and I'm going to try and go home, and you're not healed yet, and so it makes me feel bad, and I'm like, okay, time out. Do you see how you created that for yourself? You said, right on. I will answer that here momentarily, and thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it very much. So I was like, do you see how you created that for yourself? You had this idea that you would be able to feel good if I had, no pain and no bleeding. You're welcome. Then you could feel comfortable leaving. You set that at the beginning, and then reality happened as it happened. And because it didn't happen in line with your expectations, now you've created your own suffering. And I was like, do you see how we do that all the time? This has kind of come up to me as well with this meditation today, that I had this intention as I was going to do this meditation practice that each day was going to be more and more growing and, deeper and deeper inside myself and all the above. And so I have a day where I'm just drowsy and I'm barely staying with it and all the above. And now that causes me to feel bad inside. It has nothing to do with what's actually happening. It has to do with things in reality not meeting my expectations. Which has been a huge awakening for me, that it seems like it's a much better, maybe for lack of a better word, way of being to just let go of all expectations, have visions, have intentions, have desires, have goals, and move towards them, but let go of expectations. Let go of our attachment to the way we think things ought to be, and just allow reality to show up as it shows up. And that eliminates a lot of our suffering. So that's something that I'm really waking up to today. So as far as the meditation stuff, how to start? Really just start. The simplest thing is just take time to sit down and breathe. I would well, let me back up one step. So meditation, as I'm seeing, people like to define meditation. What is meditation? And the more I'm opening to it, the more I'm seeing that meditation doesn't really have a definition per se. And thank you for the continued hearts. I really, really appreciate that. That means a lot. Meditation does not have, you can't say, oh, this is it, because it's like truth. As you begin to try and encapsulate truth with words, you miss part. You can't take the infinite and put it in some finite description. It just doesn't work that way. So if I was going to give a description for meditation, which is only just a small piece of what it really is it's taking time to really open to and play with your inner world, to let go of this bounds of this external reality for a little while and open up to our true nature, connect with spirit, connect with who we really are, our true nature inside, and then play with that inner world. And all kinds of things can, be a meditation. It can be a simple breathing meditation. You can meditate and you can send, and visualize sending energy into your body. You can begin playing with your body in terms of the energy and moving things around for natural healing. You can do visualization meditation to create things that you want to create in your life. You can do all sorts of things. But to first start, focus is really, really important. The ability to have one point that you can keep your mind fixated on. So beginning practitioners, what I would recommend, one, get grounded. To just, be running around throughout our day and just sit down, okay, I'm going to breathe now. And you're doing that and your mind and everything is still going nuts from all of the crap you've been doing all day. So taking time to get back in your body, to let your mind relax a little bit, really helps. Things like tapping. So if I'm doing this, my attention is where? It's on my chest, right? It's on the fact that I'm tapping. And so when my attention is like my mind, right? So my mind is now on my chest or on my tummy or on my arms or whatever it is. But when I do that consciously, I'm bringing my mind back to where my body is. And so my mind, not fully, no. I have glimpses, but the full awakening that a lot of people describe, not yet. I'm really working on my lower chakras right now. So as we get grounded, by tapping or, for example, shaking. This is a standy bouncy thing. I love this. Just standing up, just grab the earth with your feet, kind of tiger toes sort of, and just bounce. Again, the idea just kind of, you can do it light, you can do it vigorously, whatever makes you happy. But the idea is we want mind and body to be linked together to help. We want mind and body to be linked together to help our meditation practice so that our mind is calm and we can go deeper and be more clear. So for our mind being running around all over the place and take our body to tomorrow, our body to yesterday, our body to Egypt, wherever our mind is going, is pretty difficult. But bringing our mind back to our body is pretty easy. So let it be that way. So like I said, tapping, shaking, bouncing, whatever. Get yourself grounded. Do it consciously so your mind is connected with your body again. And then when you sit down to breathe, it becomes much more easy to be still. And then I would recommend picking a single focal point. The breath is the easiest because it's always with you. And counting breaths can be a very great way to begin focusing. So just count your breaths. And you can count in your mind with just 1, 2, and see if you can count, maybe try to 30. And if you lose count, right on. Yes, it really does, doesn't it? I agree. And it just, on the whole, while certain days may be, more on or more off than others, we talked about that whole expectation thing. On the whole, they definitely, it begins to just grow and the space inside opens more and more and we feel even more like a new person. But David, that is awesome that you're experiencing that, man. It really is. And so as far as the beginning meditation stuff, like I said, count breaths and let your focus develop. Start trying to count 30. And if you lose count, just start over. And then see one day if you can get to 50. See if one day you can get to 100. And if you can get to a place where you can count 100 breaths without losing your focus, then you've got a very deep level of focus. And from that point, then you can begin to branch out to other things. If you want to focus on sending energy to a certain place in your body for natural healing. If you want to focus on, opening up your visualization sense. If you have a particular image or something you're trying to create in your life, you want to bring in a particular relationship or something, you can, open up your visual senses. And just by holding that image in your head, that draws the energy of the universe in and begins to create, see yourself with this person, see yourself getting this job, see yourself being this leader or whatever it is that you desire to do. You're very welcome, David. Enjoy dinner, man. And I am thrilled. I really am thrilled that you're meditating and that it's becoming an awesome experience for you. Keep going, brother. And I'll be here for another 80 plus days, if not more. So I hope to see you again soon. Much love. So as you develop that level of focus, then you can let all the other things that happen. I will. You too, man. You too. So you build that level of focus, and then anything else you're trying to do becomes much easier. So like I said, visualization, if you want to visualize yourself becoming that leader, visualize yourself getting whatever job or promotion or developing whatever relationship. But if our focus... okay. So at first... Well, all right, ultimately, allowing all that you experience to become a part of the meditation, including whatever noises are going on, because ultimately meditation is about allowing all that is to be, noise or no noise, whatever. That being said, at the beginning, when we're trying to cultivate focus and go inside, it can be a significant distraction. So a few suggestions I have. One, if you can get earplugs, that's a great thing you can do. Two, of course, trying to be in a quiet place. Now, you may be in a home with, 5 other people, and there's always a TV going on, or radio, or people talking, or, running around. I mean, I don't know what your situation is, but if possible, create your own safe space or your own quiet space somewhere. If it's like go in a bedroom somewhere, go in a closet and sit, go in your car and just go park in some random parking lot and be by yourself where nobody else is around. That's an option. If none of those work, something else that Eckhart Tolle talked about that is a helpful meditation technique is noticing in between every noise is silence. Even between these words as I'm speaking, there's always a little bit of silence in between each word, each syllable, everything. So as we tune into the silence underneath the noise, that also is incredibly effective. So notice the noise and notice those brief gaps of no noise, and let your attention and your awareness tune into those gaps. And after a while, you begin to notice this underlying sense of stillness beneath all noise. And then there's also that same idea beneath all movement, beneath all activity, beneath all forms of stuff. There is an underlying awareness that our attention begins to awaken to that is a deep presence of stillness that we notice everything else kind of rides on top. Do you find that helpful? And or are there any other questions that you have? Thank you. Very cool. Very cool. Are there any other, questions or issues that are coming up for you? Cool. Happy to do so. And also trust that your higher self, the piece of you connected to God, Spirit, your soul, desires for you to go inside and connect. And it is also guiding us along the path that is perfect for us in every single moment. All we have to do is be willing to engage. So, like I said, take time, get grounded, whatever it is that you do to get grounded. Breathe, cultivate that sense of focus. And then the rest, just surrender. And just as long as you keep engaging, keep taking time to practice meditation and letting go of the outside world and going inside and cultivating this sense of inner presence, God and your soul, will work with you to help teach you and show you and guide you exactly what you need to know. Let it be a blossoming. Let it be like a flower that's just gently unfolding, and you will see everything you need to see. How am I dealing with my bottom chakras? Good question. Meaning like how am I opening them or how am I strengthening them? What do you mean exactly? Opening? Okay. As you already know, since you're familiar with chakras, obviously, the lower chakras deal more with physical, we have more emotional, and then we have more spiritual stuff going on. An analogy that I like to use is basically at first we start with a nice, clean, clear glass of water that is us, our being. As time happens, ink gets dropped into the glass. And so the ink starts to muddy up the water, right? That's our life experiences. And so we tend to cover that up. Like, no, there's no ink. It's okay. See, everything's clean and clear and perfect. It's beautiful. Nothing's wrong. And then life happens and more ink drops in the glass. And so more inkiness builds up. And we're like, no, it's okay. See, we're going to cover that up. We're fine. It's okay. Nothing to worry about here. And so we end up operating off this narrow band of clean and clearness while we're covering up all this other crap. Meditation is the process of going back in and opening those layers up to see the ink that's been there the whole time, finally acknowledging it, facing it, and at the same time pouring clean, clear energy clean, clear water into that so that the ink overflows. So with lower chakras, one of the easiest ways to do that is through physical movement, exercise, etc. Recognizing that as we do that, physical discomforts, fatigue, etc. is going to surface. That's just the ink leaving the glass. It's a good thing. So specific lower chakra exercises. One, any physical exercise at all is going to activate your lower chakras. But for your perineum, your first chakra, get in a nice half lotus position. And you can either have your hands here, or if you need to for balance, put them here. But just simple tapping of your first chakra. Just get that perineum area and see if you can tap right there. And just do this 10, 20, 50, 100 times. And that's a great way to get energy building up in your lower chakra. Also, toe tapping is a great thing to do. So if you're lying down, right on, lying down, and you can actually do this sitting up as well, but either way. And then you start rotating your legs. So from your hip sockets, rotating the ball and socket joint in your hip, rotate your whole leg. And you can't see my feet now, but you can just trust me. My toes are basically tapping together like this. Make sure the movement comes from your hips, though, not your feet. They just come along for the ride. So you're just tapping your toes. And again, that's activating that lower chakra energy. So doing that, and I've done that for sometimes 5 minutes, doing that for an hour. I mean, I'm not, if you have that time, I did that for a few weeks in a row and did that for an hour and felt a lot of cleansing. As you do it, you relax more and more, and you'll find that tensions and discomforts begin to surface in your legs and your lower abdomen. Just keep relaxing and relaxing, keep moving and moving and moving, and keep focused on the healing and the intention of presence, rather than on the phenomenon and the discomfort that surfaces. Just let the phenomenon happen. Let it release. Stay focused on the movement and on the relaxation, and then the discomfort just keeps, leaving and leaving and leaving, and you find deeper and deeper layers that are opening up. So that's some first chakra stuff. Second chakra is also tied to, basically the second chakra is our storehouse of physical energy and endurance. Also in Chinese philosophy, they talk about the dantians, which there's a lower dantian, a middle dantian, and an upper dantian. Or in Korean, they're called danjan. And a lot of people, it means energy center. And a lot of people correlate the second chakra with the lower dantian. So one thing, or a couple things you can do for that actually, is tapping directly. There's a pressure point, an inch or two below your belly button, that feeds directly into your second chakra. And you can just tap, take the pinky side of your hand, which, by the way, I don't know if you're familiar with Chinese medicine at all, but this is connected to your small intestine meridian, which is your small intestine energy channel. And you're basically tapping on your small intestine. So you're bringing a lot of energy and awareness into that small intestine second chakra area. But you find that point and just tap. Try and hit the same point. Some people do to the side, and that's okay. That's effective. Doing it open hand is effective as well. But if you can tap that one spot right in the middle over and over again, you will find, and then as you're doing it, just feel the vibration. It's not about absent-mindedly doing it. Everything is about consciously doing it. But as you tap, just let yourself relax and feel your body. Feel the vibration. Feel the organs jiggle inside. Feel, let the vibration penetrate through the surface, and feel inside your lower abdomen. You can even, as your visualization senses open, imagine sending in good energy into your lower abdomen. So that's a great way to fill your second chakra. Intestine exercises also really help. So basically just squeeze in and release. Squeeze and release. And you don't actually have to use your hands. They're just kind of there as a guide. But you're really just using the muscles of your abdomen to just squeeze and release. That also brings attention and awareness into your lower chakras. remember that healing comes as a result of awareness. Our true nature, awesome, awesome. Our true nature is light, love, unity, consciousness, etc. And we exist in a world of light and dark. And so our task, so to speak, is to bring light and consciousness into this world of darkness. And in doing so, create our own light body, create natural healing, etc., and embody the truth of who our real being is in this world. So any practice that brings attention and awareness to something brings in light, because attention, consciousness, light, awareness, they're all the same thing. And where your mind goes, your energy follows. So you can do it with, and it's easier at first with physical exercise. The different things that I've shown you, and there's more as well. Qigong stuff is great for, especially when you're doing lower body movement, Qigong, and that is great for building up not only physical leg strength, but also for bringing energy into your lower chakras. The stuff that I showed you, you can do visualizations. I mean, just visualizing as you just sit and meditate, and just visualizing energy as you breathe, just breathing in, even imagine breathing in through your lower back, and you feed in energy into your lower chakra, and just breathe in and feel and fill, and then exhale any tension. So, yeah, breathe and imagine the energy coming in and sending light into these areas. Also helps. But like I said, physical exercise probably first, as you're developing your level of focus. And then as you get used to it more, you can do your inner visualization to also help bring energy and consciousness and light into it. So yeah, thank you, by the way, so much for the hearts. That really means a lot. I appreciate that. So yeah, that's what I would do. Like I said, get grounded. Play with those, first chakra exercises. In fact, make a little block, like a training block for yourself. Start off and just the standy bouncy thing and shake a little bit. And then do some of the first chakra stuff. Do a little bit of second chakra tapping. And then you'll be nice and grounded and just kind of sit and breathe. And just see what your experience is. I feel like as you do that, you will open considerably. And also, like I said, your soul wants this for you. And so will guide you step by step as you unfold and as you engage. It will keep leading you both internally and externally through the things that you experience, the people you meet, the words you hear. It will lead you where you need to go next. So just have faith and keep engaging, and you will be amazed at what begins to unfold. Yeah, I understand. So yeah, I would recommend the counting breaths thing. See if you can get to where you can count 100 without having to start over. If you can do that, you will be a long way on your way. Anything else? Very cool, very cool. All right, well, I tell you what, I am going to, here we go. Okay, no worries, no worries. Well, I really, really wish you a blissed and blessed practice, and just keep playing, engaging, have faith, and it will unfold as it should. And I also am going to be here. This is day 18 of my 100-day meditation experience, so every day I'm doing a scope as well. So please feel free to follow me And then, you'll see when I pop up, and jump in whenever you feel. Let me know how it's going. Just like David did. I haven't seen him in a few days, and he was just like, hey, I've been meditating like 3 times, and it's starting to go well. And oh, cool, Marta. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Alan, and thank you for following. I appreciate that. So yeah, just chime in whenever you see me, and let me know how it's going, what your ups and your downs are. I will help serve however I can. And in the meantime, cool, very cool. Thank you. And Marta, it was an honor to meet you. Like I said, I wish you the best, and I am going to sign off for the evening. Much love, and have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.